Welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. I have a very, 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 very special guest, a friend of mine for like over 20 years, probably 25 years. She's taking pictures of the following, and do not interrupt me, BJ. Ace Frehley, Aerosmith, AFI, Gnostic Front, Alice in Chains, Amazing Crowns, American Standard, Annihilator, Anthrax, Anti-Flag, Aquanets, Ashad, At the Drive-In, Avail, B-52s, Bad Brains, Bad Religion, Barfly, Beastie Boys, Beck, Beggars, Belly, Big Daddy Kane, Biohazard, Black Crows, Black Flag, Black Sabbath, Black Train Jack, Blackaroo, Black Velvet Flag, Black 77, Blitzbear, Blondie, Bloodhound Gang, Bo Diddley, Body Count, Bogman, Bold, Bon Jovi, Booyah Tribe, Booty Sauce, Both Worlds, Bouncing Souls, Breaking Beast, Breakdown, Brittany Fox, Bruce Purse, Brutal Truth, Buck Cherry, Buckets, Bush, Buster Poindexter, Buzzcocks, Candlebox, Carcass, Cathedral, Circle Jerks, Cars for Alarm, ChemLab, Chi Ali, Chuck Trey, Cinderella, Circle Jerks, Circles of Power, Civ, Clowns of Progress, Collective Soul, Come, Confessor, Confortion, Conformity, Cramps, Creep Division, Chromax, Crown of Thorns, Crystal Waters, Cycle Cells from Hell, G-Generation, Dancehall Crashers, Damned, Damage Danger, Dead Sea, De La Soul, Death Angel, Death by Stereo, Debbie Harry, Def Leppard, Dollar 7, Dickies, Dictators, Dig, Digital Underground, Distillers, Doggy Dog, Don Dawkin, Do-Rag, Down by Law, Dripping Goss, Dropping Murphys, Drown, Dweezil, Zapper, Ensign, Egyptian, Evil Knievel, Exo, Exodus, Extreme, Fabulous Disaster, Failure, Faith No More, Fear Factory, Phoenix TX, Fight, Fishbone, Flaming Lips, Flipper, Flogging Molly, Flotsam and Justin, Fluff, F-, Frankie, Frank Black, Freddie Johnson, Fudge Tunnel, Fugazi, Fur, Furious George, Gadgets, Gangstar, Garden Variety, GBH, George Clinton, Godflesh, Goldfinger, Good Riddance, Gorilla Biscuits, Green Day, Gutter Boy, War, H2O, Hard Corpse, Heckle, Hell's Kitchen, Helmet, Hot Water Music, House of Pain, Hubert Suman, Ice-T, Iceman, Iggy Pop, Incubus, Indigo Girls, Independence, Into Another, Intruders, Ivy, Jawbox, Jawbreaker, Jeff Healy, Jellyfish, Jesse Mallon, Jesus and the Mary Chain, Jewel, Jim Rose Circus, Joan Jett, Joe Satriani, Joe Strummer, Joe Stump, John Etzwell, Johnny Cash, Johnny Ramone, Johnny Clegg, Johnny Lang, John Sebastian, John Spencer, Jungle Brothers, Jurassic 5, Karen Black, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Killing Joke, Killing Time, Kill Your Idols, King Diamond, King of Kings, King's X, Kicks, Casey Corn, Crackdown, Creator, Cry Us, L7, Lady Luck, LA Guns, Lars Frederick and the Bastards. These are the new school. Lee with Lenny Kravitz, Lee Elliott Stitches, Less Than Jake, Lifetime, Limbo Maniacs, Line, Live, Living Color, Living End, Ella Cool J, London Choir Boys, Long Beach Sub All Stars. Are you awake, BJ? Los Gusanos, Lolita 18, Lomito, Lunachicks, Machine Head, Madball, Mad Caddies, Magma Pop, Manu Negra, Marauder, Marilyn Manson, Marky Mark, Maxi Priest, Maximum Penalty, Mazzy Star, Meatloaf, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, Megadeth, Malaya Rage, Mest, Metallica, Mighty Boss Tones, Mindfunk, Ministry, Misfits, Moby, what up? Mob, Modern English, Moist, the fuck's that? Morbid Angel, Motley Crue, Motorhead, Movie Life, Mudhoney, Murdy City Devils, Murphy's Law, Mother's Day Out, MXPX, Not a Surf, Napalm Death, Nashville Pussy, Nausea, Neil Young, Newfound Glory, Nine Inch Nails, Noise for a Name, No Doubt, No Effects, Nuclear Assault, Nudes World, Oasis, Obituary, Offspring, Old Skull, Orange 9mm, Outcrowd, Old School, Overdose, Pansy Division, Pantera, Papa Roach, Pearl Jam, Pepper, Pennywise, Peter Murphy, Pie Tasters, PIL, Pop's Cool Love, Primal Scream, Primus, Prince Paul, Dope, Prong, Psycho TV, Psychotica, Public Enemy, Sick, Public Punk Rock Karaoke, Pure Rubbish, Queen Latifah, Queers, Quicksand, Rage Against the Machine, Raging Slab, Ramones, Rancid, Rare Essence, Rat Race Choir, Real McKenzie's, Red Cross, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rejuvenate, Remains, Ariel Speedwagon? No. Replacements, Rest in Pieces, Reverend Horton Heat, Rhythm Syndicate, Rocket from the Crypt, Roguish Armament, Rollins Band, Ronnie Spector, Roots, Run DMC's Sacred Reich, Saigon Kick, Salt and Pepper, Sam I Am, Sass Jordan, Satan's Love Lounge, Sausage, Save Ferris, Scatterbrain, Screaming Jay Hawkins, Screw 32, Scrub, Sepultura, Suicidal Tendencies, Sick of It All, Super Chunk, Super Sucker, Super Touch. It doesn't say Sick of It All in here, actually. You could add that in there. Sweet Relief, Swinging Utters, 2 Live Crew, 25 to Life, 22 Jacks, 24/7 Spies, 311 Third Base Teen Idols, Testament, That Dog, The, Tiger Army, Todd Rundgren, Tony Tone, Token Entry, Tool, Tora, Tribe Called Quest, Sick, Typo Negative, Ugly Kid Joe, Underdog, Under the Gun, Unity 2, Urban Blight, Urban Dance Squad, Sick, Urban Masaka, US Bombs, Valentine, Vandals, Velocity Girl, Velvet Crush, Veruca Salt, Vision, Warren Hayes, Warren Zevon, Warzone, Waterdog, Voivod, Vu, Weezer, Wench, Weston, White Zombie, Wonder Stuff, World Party, Wrathchild America, X Cops, X Clan, Sick, X Supermodels, Young Black Teenagers, wow, Youth Defense League, Youth of Today, Yuppie Side, and Ziggy Marley. Welcome to the podcast, BJ Papas.
Can't believe you read that.
How was that intro? That intro was pretty sick.
It was wonderful.
So
unexpected.
So BJ Papas, you've done all these fucking photos. How did you get into photography? First and foremost, how are you? Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You were born in New York, correct?
Woodstock, New York.
Woodstock, New York. And did you study photography in school?
I first started photography in high school.
Yeah.
And then I went to FIT and majored in photography.
So you got good grades in high school, obviously. You passed.
I passed.
Yeah. Did you like school?
I hated school.
Yeah, me too.
I liked photography. That was it.
So that was your major, and you went to school for that.
Yep.
And then remember the first bands you started shooting?
The first band I ever shot was Black Flag at Maxwell's.
Holy shit. Was that on that list? Yeah.
I don't know. That list hasn't been updated in years.
Oh, shit. Because I'm like, we're sick of it all. You did a bunch of the records. Damn, so Black Flag was the first show you shot? Where was that at?
Maxwell's.
Holy shit.
Well, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had to borrow a flash. I didn't even own one.
Damn. So that was your first, I'm going to go shoot live bands. What were you shooting before that?
Just like things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's random shit.
Yeah, I liked a lot of like broken down walls and that kind of stuff.
It's like artsy, kind of like.
Yeah, artsy-fartsy shit.
But then, to rewind a little bit, what exposed you to that kind of music, like the punk rock and stuff? What was your exposure to that?
Well, when I lived in Woodstock, there was this awesome record store called The Collector.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy Lester owned it. Doesn't exist anymore, but and he had records.
Yeah.
So whenever I got a paycheck, I would go in there and just buy something.
Yeah.
And that was really...
Regardless of what kind of music it was?
No, definitely. Well, I think my first record I ever got was Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
And then just whenever some punk shit came out, I would just buy it.
But how'd you hear about it and know about that type of music living in Woodstock? Like what exposed you to punk rock? You just randomly stumbled upon it at a record store, or somebody was getting you into it at school, or?
I don't really know. I just know that I had a lot of friends that were in music.
Yeah.
Their fathers were famous, but different kinds of music, like jazz or weird. But I don't know. We just listened to music. But I don't really know how it actually started.
Yeah.
I just know that I would go to the store and be like, oh, this looks cool, buy it.
Yeah.
And listen to it. And then there was this Punk Lives magazine.
Yeah.
And I used to get a subscription to that.
That's sick. Yeah, back in the day, people, we had to get subscriptions to magazines that come to your house like once a month.
Yeah, in the mail.
You couldn't just search on the internet and see all that shit. That's crazy. Yeah. So in those magazines, you probably saw like, oh, this new band or this band review or this something, right?
Yeah, and then I had a pen pal that lived in England.
Okay.
So we would like talk about music and stuff.
Pen pals for people listening to the youth. It's we write a letter to somebody, put it in the mailbox, and send it to each other. It's way, way prehistoric sounding.
And it would take forever.
I know. Even like ordering records and shit through the mail, or just swapping stuff, tapes and shit like that over the mail. It took a long time.
Yeah.
You have to wait like 2 or 3 weeks. Now kids want things right now. They couldn't wait like past 24 hours or whatever. Fucking Amazon Prime, whatever. We didn't have that shit. But back then it was like, took a long fucking time, man.
A long time.
All right, so Black Flag was your first kind of punk show too? Or just the one you shot?
Well, I saw The Clash. It was before I took pictures.
Was that in New York? Is it in the city?
There was I think it was Vassar College. It was upstate.
Damn.
And
that's cool.
That was my first concert. Let's put it that way.
First concert was The Clash.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So who'd you go to that show with? Do you remember?
Probably my friend Babs. But I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember this. That Matt Dillon was there.
Oh, shit. It's so random.
And it was like when he was in his prime. And
wow.
I saw him, and he had sunglasses and a cigarette behind his ear.
It's pretty sick.
And I looked at him, and he put his finger up to his mouth and said, shush. And I said, nodded at him. And I told all my friends that I asked Matt Dillon to take me to the prom, but he couldn't because he wasn't available.
So you spotted him, and he kind of gave you like, don't tell anybody it's me,
Yeah.
I'm here?
He's wearing sunglasses in a club. Come on.
That's pretty fucking awesome. Damn, he's an old school guy then. That's cool.
Yeah, and then years later, he went to go see Joe Strummer.
Yeah.
And I remember freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, Matt Dillon's here. I got to go get a picture.
Did you get in with him?
No, I got Joey because I was scared. And I was like, Joey, come with me. And by the time we went there, he wasn't around.
Yeah.
So I missed it.
That's crazy.
But he's a huge Clash fan.
Yeah. He sounds like he's a punk rock dude. That's cool. He's there back then, you know? Mm-hmm. So Black Flag, obviously your first time taking pictures. How scary was that? And plus being a girl taking pictures back then too at shows.
I don't know. I didn't think it was scary at all. I just honestly was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to go in there. But, you know, it was a pit. So you had to like, you know, make sure you weren't getting hit.
Yeah.
While
you're trying to take a picture.
While you're trying to take a picture, yeah. So I wasn't that close to the stage.
Yeah. But were there other women there taking pictures at that time?
That specific show, I don't remember anyone taking pictures.
Yeah.
That was a pretty small club.
Yeah. And then what was your next show after that you took pictures at?
I don't know. I'd have to look, but I know that that's when I started going to CB's.
Okay.
But I didn't take pictures right away.
You were just going to the shows?
Just going to the shows.
Yeah. So what was it you think that, was it somebody asking you to take a picture for them for their record that kind of like sparked you starting to do that for bands? Like what was that? What was it?
It was a boyfriend of mine at the time.
Oh, okay.
Who joined the Army. Mm. And I thought it was a really stupid idea to join the Army when you're going to miss all these shows. So I thought to irritate him, I would send photos of what he missed. Mm. And that's how it started.
Interesting. Actually, all these fucking great shows. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is what you missed this week.
Holy shit. So then, do you remember, what was your first official record that you took a picture that actually came out in the store? Like,
Sick of It All.
Okay, Sick of It All. The LA Recruit 7-inch, the first 7-inch of Revelation.
Yeah.
The LA shot. And how did you meet those guys?
Do you know the story?
No, I don't.
Well, they were playing a show in Albany, New York. And Mike Senkowitz asked me.
Mike Senkowitz, I remember that name, yeah.
You remember Mike, right? From Killing Time or Raw Deal? I never remember which one's first. But so he said to me that Sick of It All really wanted me to go to this show and take pictures of them. So I said, okay. And we all went in a van to shoot the show. Yeah. And afterwards, Lou told me that Mike Senkowitz told him that I really wanted to shoot them. And I think it was just because Mike Senkowitz wanted to hang out with me.
Shout out to Mike Senkowitz.
Mike, how are you?
Wherever you are, if you're listening or even care about what I'm saying. Wow, that's interesting. Holy shit. All right, so that 7-inch. So did things change for you? I mean, there wasn't internet back then, so it was like, oh my God, you can look at PJ Papa's profile and see what she took these photos or get research about you. All of a sudden, this picture came out in the back of that 7-inch, and then what happened? You started doing more photos for Revelation or just the New York bands in general?
Yeah, I don't think anything really happened. I think it was just like, you know, bands had records come out and they knew I had pictures and they would ask me and I would give it to them. It was, there was no like business too. It was just like, you know, do you have a picture? Yeah, sure. You can use this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It wasn't like at that point you were so, how old were you? You were young then, but did you want to take pictures as a career at that point? Like what were you doing besides that?
Well, the funny thing is I never really wanted to shoot bands. It was my sister's idea, which I should have taken before I went to college. But when I went to college, I thought I was going to shoot fashion. Yeah. And I hated it when I was in FIT, like shooting fashion. I just couldn't stand it. Yeah. So I started shooting bands, and I kept saying, well, I don't want to mix business with pleasure. But right after I graduated college, I went to an AF show and broke my wrist.
Oh, shit. But taking pictures or like just in the pit?
Well...
Just being there?
Remember Big Charlie?
Yeah.
So Big Charlie and Jimmy were on stage, and they told me to come up on stage, and they grabbed my hands and my feet and did the, 1, 2, 3, throw me off into the pit, and I guess I landed on my arm.
Damn, they gave like the heave-ho.
They gave me a heave-ho.
They take you by arms and legs and throw you. That's crazy.
Yeah, what's even crazier is like after the show, remember Brian Freeman?
Yeah, I heard that name.
He actually got me some ice and for my arm.
Yeah.
That's how I met Brian. Took care of me, so thank you, Brian. I'll never forget that. And then after the show, I asked Charlie to look at my arm to see if it was broken, and he said it was fine. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I think there was like another show the next night, like at L'Amour's.
Yeah.
And then I showed Charlie again, and he's like, it's fine, whatever. And then the next day was a CB show, and my arm was killing me by that day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't take pictures. I remember I had to like bend my arm to rest the camera on it like a tripod. And I took pictures like that. And then I showed it to Charlie again, and he said, holy shit, what the hell's wrong with your arm? And I'm like, you told me it was fine. And he's like, it's not fine. So then 3 days later, I went to the hospital.
Oh, shit.
And they told me that I broke my wrist, and they had to wait a day for the swelling to go down before they could put a cast on it.
Damn, man.
So that kind of ruined my dreams. My hopes and dreams were to move to San Francisco and shoot skateboarders.
Really?
Yeah, that was...
Holy shit, I didn't
all
know
I cared
that.
about was skateboarding at the time.
Wait, so you were skating back then?
Yeah, I was skating in high school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my brother made me a quarter pipe on the side of my house. Yeah.
Well, you remember what kind of board you had, like your first board?
I remember all Powell Peraltas.
Sick.
I had a Roddy Mullen.
I used to have that too, my freestyle board, yeah.
And I had a skull.
Skates.
The skull with the sword.
Crossbones, yeah. The Mike McGill.
Silver one?
Yeah.
No, not Mike McGill.
Skull and crossbones.
Sword. It was like a sword.
Yeah.
With the skull. It was silver. It was Powell. I think maybe it was Powell.
Was that
Peralta.
Per Willander? I don't know. It was just the design.
I think it was just their design.
Yeah, you're right. I should know that.
That was the bigger one, and I had the Rodney Mullen was I had a little one and a big one. I had a freestyle.
Yeah, Rodney Mullen was a shit though.
Oh my God, I loved him.
So awesome.
Yeah, I loved all the Powell Peralta. Oh my gosh, I lived on those videos.
Bones Brigade videos?
Bones Brigade. Oh my God. I wore them out.
That is cool. Were there any other girl skaters back then?
Well, there's a girl in that video.
Okay. That's right, there is.
And I can't remember her name right now, and I'm very sorry, but I did meet her at a gym out here, and it was really cool. She was like, I'm the girl in the video. I was like, oh my God. No way. Yeah. She's also a photographer. Oh, I think Stephanie was her name, I think.
That's fucking cool. I didn't know you were a skater like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, my friend Shivo taught me how to skate. And Timmy Chunks taught me how to ollie.
Sick. So that was your trick, the ollie?
Oh, I could do it.
Yeah. Could you skate ramps too? Like,
no. Probably just the quarter pipe. Like
quarter pipes. Yeah, that was the shit back then.
But
jump ramps.
I skated all throughout New York City.
Yeah.
Street skate.
That's amazing, Papas. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So then, I'm gonna go to San Francisco. I'm gonna capture all these skaters.
Well, I was obsessed with Thrasher magazine.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to work for Thrasher and skate and photograph all these guys. And as soon as I graduated college, that was what my plan was. And then I broke my wrist at a hardcore show.
Doomed.
Thank you, AF. And I think that's what kept me in New York.
Wow. So then, how long? So you didn't take pictures for like a month or so?
Yeah, I think it's however long it took for the cast to get off. And then I worked in a local photo lab in Woodstock, New York.
Yeah.
Kind of like, drop off your film and I could write their name on it. And then they could wait weeks for their film to be processed.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And that's what I did because who else was going to hire me? I had a broken arm. And then I moved back to the city.
Yeah.
And then I started taking pictures again.
And so all you had done was that 7-inch, right? Then you got hurt and you kind of...
Oh, no, the 7-inch was after that.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, we're at a time frame. But...
So then, right after the Sick of It All 7-inch or whatever, did shit start going fast for you, like doing all the records?
I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess the revelation was happening.
Yeah.
And then they made In Effect.
Yeah, but looking back on it now, like if you go through all your discography of things you made, that you did so many things, but obviously I'm not sure how fast they happened, but The Way It Is comp, the New York City Revelation one, that was not too far after that. I'm not sure. I mean, I have the shit here. Hang on. So
It's okay. I'm bad with time frame.
I can refresh your memory though. Like just like the first 7-inch for Sick of It All, the Blood, Sweat, and No Tears, Scratch the Surface, Salt and Pepper, which is crazy to me, Outburst, Sheer Terror, H2O, the back of H2O's first 7-inch, the back of H2O's first album, the back of Thicker Than Water album, the GB High Hope, the first GB 7-inch. That wasn't that long after Sick of It All, I don't think.
Yeah.
The GB, and then Madball, Demonstrate My Style, the back cover of that. Killing Time, Bright Side, which is a great record. 2 Sheer Terror records. It's crazy. Did so many things back. The Show and Tell one, which is the first compilation my band was ever on, was theme songs that the Show and Tell did. We covered Bad Boys, the Cops theme, but you did that too.
TV.
Murphy's Law, Dedicated. Sheer Terror, Just Can't Hate Enough. And then Moon's actually, there's a picture of Moon. I don't know if you took that picture.
No, that wasn't me.
And then Scratch the Surface, yeah.
Oh, in Scratch the Surface?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And the layout in there. The Warzone one, and then the One Voice too, you did. Gnostic Front.
Oh, yeah.
So you were like it seems like you were like the main photographer for that time. I'm sure there were others, but plus being a woman too. Was that difficult at all, being a woman in the scene? First and foremost, and then being a photographer, woman in the scene, or no? Do you feel like anything?
Well, back then, there weren't really very many girls in the scene, period.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds really stupid, but my name BJ actually saved me because most people thought I was a guy. When they saw the photo credit, they didn't know I was a girl.
Did you Papa's? Yeah. So
I know a lot of times people would call me on the phone and ask for BJ Pappas, and I'd say, this is her. And they'd be like, you're a girl? And it would be really freaked out.
Wow.
And I know that like I probably got more work because people didn't know that I was a girl.
That's really interesting. I never even thought about that.
It happened.
If it said, it'd be a different story, but yeah. Sorry, I'm supposed to say that? Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It said BJ, but I'm sorry. Government name.
I love you too.
That's interesting. I never thought about that about you. Crazy. Anyway, so when did it become like was it your career at one point? Or were you always working other jobs during those times?
I always had multiple jobs, but it was but photography was like what I did. Like I was a photo assistant.
It was your passion.
Yeah. And then I would, shoot for magazines, but it was always photography.
Yeah. Was it hard? Was it hard to always just sometimes I just want to go to a show and see my friend's band play. I don't want to take a picture tonight, but then maybe they expect you to always have your camera with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you're also a fan of these bands and you want to go and have fun, not have to worry about lugging your camera and shit.
It would always kind of sometimes bum me out when people were like, where's your camera? And I'd be like, I didn't bring it today. And I would feel bad. And then when I watch the show, then I kind of get bummed because I'm like, why didn't I bring my camera? Because that was a good shot. Yeah. So you can't really win.
Yeah, totally. So then you were taking pictures for so many different groups. And was there one particular photo? I mean, I know one that we're not there yet, but one couple photos you took are very iconic photos. You can't say they're iconic because you did it and you lived it, but looking back at them now and looking at your resume and all the stuff you did, there's some insane photos that everybody knows these photos. Like the Tim Armstrong one, jumping with the guitar, the HR one, there's a bunch, and all these different records, the Joe Strummer one. You were just taking photos of people that you like, you know what I mean? You were taking photos of your friends.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But you weren't thinking they were going to become these photos that everybody's seen these photos.
No, because the problem is I always hate my photos. And the fact that those photos are even seen is kind of rare. I think I gave maybe a picture or two to Lint and he was like, oh, these are really good. And yeah. So then maybe I showed him.
Lint, for all the listeners, Lint was Tim Armstrong's nickname and BJ still continues to call him that. It's a very old school nickname. But that's how you know him as. Shout out to Tim, my man. So yeah, BJ. So was there any photo that all of a sudden like not made you like famous or put you in the public? Was there any photos that actually like holy shit got a lot of recognition back then?
I don't know about that back then. I think now it's happening.
Like getting to like detail. I think one of your pictures in Details magazine or something. I've seen some pictures.
Oh well, yeah. I used
notoriety and people started recognize you as a great photographer and a live photographer and.
Yeah, I mean, I used to shoot a lot for Spin magazine.
Okay,
that's pretty big, and Guitar World.
Yeah, that's right.
So
was that Tim in Guitar World maybe?
Tim was in both of them.
Oh wow!
I think that he made it in both Guitar World and Spin, and Lars made it in Spin.
Yeah. Maybe Details too. You ever do Details? You ever do Rolling Stone?
Did Rolling Stone? Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What picture was that?
Oh my God, I don't remember.
Ramones, Clash, Rancid. Who knows? Bad Brains. So did you grow up with the Bad Brains because you lived up there in their town?
No, they didn't live there then.
Oh, okay.
That was, but I was friends with them.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to go on tour with them.
Wow, what year did you do that?
I don't know. Late 80s, early 90s. It was Sick of It All, Leeway, and Bad Brains tour.
Damn, that's a crazy one, man. That was before I worked, and that had to be before, like, that had been 89 maybe or something?
Maybe, yeah, maybe 89. That's probably right.
Maybe the Quickness album, maybe.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Okay. Wow, that was a good tour.
Oh, my God.
You took photos for the tour, or he's hanging?
So much fun. Yeah, no, I wanted to go take pictures, and everyone told me that was a stupid idea. And I went anyway. And I took pictures. No one hired me or anything. Just went. Everyone was my friends. And then I sold a lot of pictures from that tour.
Okay.
So I'm glad I didn't listen to anyone.
Seeing pictures of all three bands every night. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, it was so much fun.
That had been a great tour back then, too.
Oh, it was awesome.
So were they traveling in vans? Were you running with...
Oh, my God.
Were you with the Bad Brains?
I think I was... No, they had... I think they might have had...
A bus?
They might have had a tour bus. They had a tour bus.
Yeah.
And they had really good catering, I remember, because they were...
Veggies,
and they had, I remember they had avocados and stuff. They had good food.
It's funny, because back then, avocados were rare to see
really rare.
At a fucking punk show or whatever. So you're just saying that, it's like, holy shit, it's some healthy avocados.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I was mostly with Leeway.
Okay.
And they had a van.
That's right.
And... No, I don't know. I don't think I toured with... I think I was with Leeway and not Sick of It All.
Weird. That's cool, though. We're friends with all three of the bands.
Yeah, I mean, we saw each other the whole time anyway, so it was just a matter of how long you were sitting in a van with who. Yeah,
you could switch off van to van if you wanted to.
I know I switched off to go with the roadies from Leeway.
Okay.
Andy Hunt and...
I remember that guy's name.
Yeah, Andy Hunt. And Joe Boslow.
Keep talking. Oh, Joe Boslow, yeah.
And we got stopped at the border in trying to get to Tijuana.
For what? Was there stuff in there?
It was something about the truck. They wouldn't let us through. I don't remember. I just remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, I don't want to miss this show.
Were they searching the van?
I don't know. We were stuck there. I don't know why we were stuck there. I can't remember. I just remember seeing pictures of us just in the sun waiting. Oh, we actually made it to that show, but I thought...
Surprised they didn't search your van back then.
I mean, they could have been. I don't remember what they were doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure those guys remember.
So...
But it was just the three of us.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, waiting.
That's crazy. So you're doing the hardcore bands, and then you start doing, like... Obviously, you did Ramones back then, too. Mm-hmm. Did that come later? Did that come...
No, I shot the Ramones. But it was, like, kind of hard to shoot the Ramones because Johnny wouldn't ever really let me on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey would always want me there, so it was just like a fight between those two. So a lot of times I probably just didn't bother taking pictures because I didn't want to be in the middle of it.
Yeah. And there's always like that, you get like the first 3 songs kind of rule. That's always in...
Back then they didn't have that rule.
Okay.
That rule, I don't know why that rule ever came about, but...
It's a weird rule.
First there was no rules. And then there was first 3 songs rule. And then there was first 3 song no flash rule. Those rules suck. Whoever made those rules.
It's so random, right?
It's stupid. But it would be good when, if I would tell the bands ahead of time, they would tell the club she's okay to stay for the whole set.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was always the best.
Because you're in relationships, you were friends with these bands. It wasn't like you just some random person taking pictures. So once they know your friends, you get to take pictures the whole setup. You want to be on stage, and it's awesome.
I think there was a bit of trust between me, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I got some pictures you probably don't want shared with the world, huh, Toby?
Yeah, but those weren't on stage. Those are so BJ took naked pictures of me. I don't know why I did this. I posted them before I took them down. It was just some weird shit. I did crazy pictures, totally naked. Some with a boner, some holding a baseball bat. I don't know why. Some with a pager. BJ has him. She has him hostage. She can blackmail me someday. It was a random crazy photo shoot. Those are probably the craziest photos you ever took, though, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you take any nudes after that?
I think that was the only nudes. You traumatized me.
Dude, that was amazing. Thanks for doing that. I don't know what my goal was.
I don't know what it was
I couldn't do anything with them.
I don't know why we did it.
And not even want to look at them. So it wasn't for my personal insane pleasure. They were wild, dude.
But I did that with a lot of bands. We did things for...
Interesting.
Like, please don't show anyone.
Ah, really? Interesting. Mm-hmm. You could be fucking just caking off of blackmailing people, man.
I could.
That's cool. So you got photos that never came out with bands. You just did some shit with them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So when I die, just look those up, okay?
Sick. So were there any good Ramon stories? Did you go on the road with them at all or no? Just locally, tri-state shit? Yeah,
not anything far. Just like, I don't even remember, upstate or something.
Yeah.
Or then when didn't they do like tours out here, like whatever, but I wasn't with them.
Yeah, the California ones, yeah.
Yeah, so.
What was like your funnest band to shoot like back then? Is it hard to say?
Sick of it all.
Yeah, a lot of energy, man.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of energy to this day. Still fucking kill it. Yeah, but back then, for sure, I remember those shows and the energy in the crowd too. But Bad Brain's probably fun too.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's my favorite band.
And did you do some, I think you did some shit for them for records, right?
Yeah, one of the pictures from that tour they used on a record.
Yeah, I forgot what it was though. If it was a live record. Or,
and they did like a 7-inch, like they did 3 colors, like red, green, yellow.
Yeah. You did the Warzone 2 for Victory, that release.
Yeah, one of the Warzones. I don't know which one it was.
I mean, you pretty much worked with all the New York hardcore bands, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Are you the Underdog too?
Yeah.
Token Entry back then or no?
I don't know if I did their record.
Did you start doing promo pics too? Like, I have a bunch of 8x10s I saved. Did you do a bunch of those band pics?
Yeah.
Like some Sick of It All ones. I'm sure I have those.
That was like when like In Effect came out.
That's right.
Then they would start hire. That was like...
Relativity.
Oh, Relativity. Right.
Yeah.
And they would hire me to do the press photos and then the record. And that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Because it was like a legit label too that actually hopefully paid you.
They paid very well. It was really good.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you're doing stuff for your friends. You're not doing it for money. You're taking pictures. They want to use them for the record. But also it's like, if it's going to be a career, you have to make money off it too. So it's like that fine line of like business and friendship, and then dealing with independent record labels. Some that always don't have money. But then you went to Relativity. That was like obviously a real label. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard because it was like your friends and you wanted to help them, but it's like, it was expensive to get film processed and developed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now it's expensive to buy a camera and a, lens, but you don't ever have to buy film. But
yeah,
film and processing was expensive
back then.
But
now you use your iPhone too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many photographers or like iPhone photographers or whatever. And
yeah, it's kind of upsetting actually sometimes.
I'm sure.
Because it's like, I went to school for photography and went through a lot of boring classes, but I learned
a lot
basics of photography and how to process in a darkroom and stuff.
Yeah.
I know people don't really know that because
they don't have to know it. That's why.
I guess, but
it's like ancient history for them to even think the process you had to do back then.
Right. I don't even think anyone thinks about how a picture is made back then, but
they just want it right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the same thing with Tim Hendricks yesterday was talking about. Back then, you had to have a portfolio for tattooing. You didn't have just an Instagram page you could scroll through and see a tattoo artist's work. You had to go take photos, make sure you took every angle of the one tattoo, get them developed, pick the best ones, put them in the photo book, have it at the tattoo shop, or mail these photos to different other tattoo shops. It was a hustle, man.
Mm-hmm.
Such a long process to do shit.
Yeah, nothing was really quick.
No. They had their patience, back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like just mailing, like you said, like getting a subscription to something or ordering something or like 2 or 3 weeks. You had no email or contact. You sent your money or your money order in. You just had to wait and just like.
Yeah, and it was rough when you did like kind of like stuff for magazines because the quickest turnaround time to get film process was like color was like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you had to like, drop the film off, wait 3 hours, then get it to the magazine. And if someone beats you to it, they're going to sell their picture before you.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's really true. The hustle is way different now too. You just take a picture and upload online, and then like thousands of people will see your shit in a second.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy. So you think that's hurt the photography industry? iPhones and stuff like that, or?
I think it's just completely different industry today.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel like, the industry from when I was growing up was pretty technical and you had to know a lot in order to get the final image. And now it's like you can just pick up an iPhone and press portrait and get an amazing shot. But
yeah,
because no one's really understanding how that mode's working. Like we didn't know how to technically get to that point. Like if you had to use a long lens or, a slow shutter speed or a wide aperture or something, whatever. But all that stuff, no one needs to think about.
I know.
To get a good picture. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
You had to actually try and take photos in different ways to figure it out. But you were the king of the fisheye lens shit. Was awesome. Yeah.
Well, Sick of It All requested the fisheye for that. And
was that being used a lot back then?
I don't know. I just know I didn't own it and I had to rent it. It's a pretty expensive lens.
I remember after I remember like not saying that Sick of It All was the first one and you were the first one, but I remember first seeing that. But then I saw like Beastie Boys had shit like that, and the Fishbone that became like a thing, the fisheye lens thing. Maybe it was before, I don't know. But
yeah, the thing that was good about the fisheye was that it was so wide that if you shot in a small club, you could get the whole stage in one picture.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
It's like this. It's like that panoramic option view you have on your iPhone now.
Right.
It's everything, and it's crazy.
But I think that the fisheye probably came from skateboarding.
I think you're right.
A lot of skateboarders used it, and then it transitioned over to the bands.
So did you take pictures of skateboarders in Woodstock?
No.
Damn. It was your dream just to go to San Francisco and take them there.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of skaters in New York, it seemed. I don't know.
I took pictures in New York of skaters.
Yeah.
When I was in college, like for my assignments, they would all be skateboarders.
Yeah.
It was this guy, Bob Withers. Thank you for always letting me shoot you. I don't know where you are, but I have a lot of pictures of
Withers?
Bob Withers.
Did he become like a pro skater?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him in years.
Bob Withers.
Yeah.
Did you want to be? Was skating just fun for you? And you weren't trying to like compete or nothing, were you?
No, skating was kind of like a release for me. Like I hated everything. I hated school, and like skating would just make me feel better.
I agree. Me too.
It was just a release because I hated so much.
Did you party when you were a kid in school, or?
Not really.
You don't seem like a party person, really.
No.
You never did to me.
Yeah.
So you weren't like. During your whole life, it seems like the whole time I knew, it seemed like drinking and smoking really that type.
No, I don't really.
It just wasn't your thing back then?
No, I mean, I when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I did some drugs and drinking.
Yeah.
And then I spent a summer in England.
Oh, wow.
And I drank all the time. Trashed every night. And I came back and said I never want to drink again. And
wow.
Just...
You got out of your system.
Yeah, I got out of my system.
Especially in England, too. Like, everybody's drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you needed ID to get into a bar or anything.
How old were you when you went there?
So I just graduated high school. What is it? 18?
You taking pictures, too?
No, it
wasn't.
No, I didn't. But, man, I was so excited because all the punks that
That's
back
right.
at the time was...
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you love the Sex Pistols and the Clash and shit like that?
Oh, my God, yes.
It's awesome.
All that, yeah.
So how many years you take pictures for in New York? It's a long time, man.
Well, I moved here in 2001.
Me too.
Oh, right.
That's
I think
crazy.
you came like right after me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the vibe of this podcast so far. The way it's super chill. Your voice is so calming and chill that I can just talk chill.
Okay, good.
It's gonna be a totally different vibe podcast because before it's like getting loud and hyped. This is like chill. No, I like it. You're doing good, BJ.
Thank you.
So, at one point, was photography your career? Like, were you making good money living off it in the 90s? Or was it always just hustling other things?
Yeah, I always had lots of jobs, like a coat check at the Ritz.
Oh, shit, yeah. Right? I remember going to the Ritz. Ritz was sick. I remember Lou's girlfriend worked there. She's always sneak us in there.
Yeah.
But there's so many shows at the Ritz, man.
Yeah. You used to hang out with me in coat check. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then...
Coat check.
And then I got stepped up from coat check to Ritz photographer. That was pretty awesome.
So that means you're officially taking pictures of all the shows there?
Yeah, they would tell me that they would pay for my film and processing and to take pictures. And sometimes they would let me do both, coat check and take pictures.
Sick. That's awesome.
Which is really
though.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. It was fun. Because then you could just, you could take pictures of anything and not worry about cost because it was covered for by the club.
That is cool. But then they have exclusive rights to those photos?
No, I don't know why they had that job because they never did anything with those pictures and they let me keep everything. So.
Yeah. Did Rabies work at the Ritz too? Or was that a different club? I know he worked the door at some clubs. I wasn't sure.
He worked at Pyramid, but I don't know. I don't think Rabies worked there.
Are there any shows besides breaking your wrist that you got hurt at from taking photos, or get scared you got really hurt, or? Did you get hit in the head with a camera?
Oh yeah, I got hit in the head at Danzig.
Damn. And
I remember Cycle Sluts from Hell was opening up.
Yeah, man. Eddie Cohen's in that band. I remember. Yeah.
The whole girls.
Oh, my bad.
Was he in it?
Maybe not.
No, I think it was all girls.
My bad. Sorry, Eddie.
Anyway, they opened up, and I got kicked in the head while I was trying to take pictures.
Damn.
And it was pretty bad, so I had to go to the hospital to get stitches.
Yeah.
And I remember I got in the cab, and I got to the hospital, and I got this really cool doctor. And I was like, Doc, I got to get back to shoot Danzig. Can you make this fast? And he gave me 4 stitches.
4 stitches.
Yeah. And got me back in time to shoot Danzig. He didn't know what that was, but he got me back in time.
Holy shit.
And I was able to shoot Danzig.
That's dedication, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So you shot that cover of Murphy's Law dedicated, or just a photo in the back where you did the claymation photos?
Oh, I think it was just the claymation. I think Uncle Al made all those clay people. And then came to my studio and they said they wanted it to look like it was a club. So yeah.
And then you did like stuff for Warp Japan. I remember that.
Oh yeah. Love Warp Japan.
Shout out to Ono.
Yeah.
That was
and
awesome.
Mommy.
Yeah, and Mommy. Yeah, you did so many. There was a lot of stuff they covered in New York and they had you as the main one. So you actually became the one that everybody would hit up pretty much.
I guess so.
Because did any women come after you in the scene that started taking photos?
Well, Wendy Eager had her fanzine Guillotine.
Oh, Guillotine, that's right. What's up? Shout out to Wendy Guillotine.
Hi, Wendy. But I think that she just did it more for her fanzine. And it wasn't a career.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah. You was doing your thing. You just hanging out with your friends, taking photos. It was like.
That's pretty much what it was. Like all I cared about was going to shows and seeing my friends, and I had a camera with me.
But was it exciting when you saw them like on the back of records, your photos? Or you didn't really care either?
No. I remember the first time I got when you get something printed, it's kind of like, oh wow, that people like it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I still just always weird because like I said, I don't like any of the pictures, so I don't understand why people like it. Yeah. I always thought they just use it because there was nothing else to use.
No, dude. So some of those pictures, like The Way It Is, the New York hardcore compilation on Revelation, that's iconic photos on there, man.
Yeah, see how all those things worked is like, I remember Jordan called and asked if I had any pictures, and I would just be like, send him the contact sheet, and
you pick one.
He would pick one, and I didn't.
Wow.
I was like, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember once hiding contact sheets from Sick of It All, and they caught me.
What were you hiding for?
Because I thought they were horrible.
And they picked one and used it?
Yeah. in a record sleeve.
Are you serious? Do you remember what record it was?
I don't know. The picture was inside the record, and it was just very dark and moody. It's just of Pete and Lou. Do you remember it?
No.
I don't remember what record it's from, but they used it, and then they told me that I was never allowed to hide anything from them again, and that they would just choose the pictures.
Wow.
So I just let people choose.
Yeah, you're probably sitting on so many negatives and all that shit, huh?
There's a lot.
So the dream, ladies and gentlemen, is to have BJ make a book one day, and we're working on that for several years now.
Yeah. It's a long.
I might even start a GoFundMe for BJ. I never know. It's not even about the money. It's about the time and effort of her to go through all these negatives, thousands and thousands of negatives, tedious, annoying ass work. So to go through the photos and pick the ones that she thinks, and like she said, she hates all of her photos. So somebody's gonna have to help her with this to pick out the best ones.
Oh yeah, it's rough. I've had some people come try to look through and pick some and get them scanned, and then maybe we can look at them, because it's hard for anyone to really look through negatives and slide. So if you get them scanned, then you can blow it up on the computer, and it's a lot easier to see. But you got to get to that process first before you can even start picking. But yeah, it's kind of a grueling process.
She's taking applications for interns now.
Yeah, if anyone's serious.
If you're a hardcore historian and you want to go through thousands of amazing photos from the 80s to the 90s, man, you can come hit up BJ Pappas, and maybe she'll hire you to go through all of her shit. If you're a photographer or like up and coming photographer and you want to fucking help out, she's got a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
But once you get through it and find it all, then the process is easy once you pick what you want.
I mean, the good thing is it is organized already.
Yeah, you're pretty organized.
And thanks to Kristen Shaw for many times coming to my house and helping me, because it was torture back then.
Yeah.
But it is all alphabeticalized, and
so it's all in alphabetical ties. And BJ has the best handwriting you ever saw. She has the best handwriting ever. I don't know where'd you learn how to write like that? Is it the only thing you learned in school besides photography?
Probably, but I don't even think my handwriting's good.
Your handwriting's insane. Your handwriting's so good. So like with a book with your handwriting, like right, it'd be so perfect.
I hate my handwriting, and I hate signatures
and
you
hate your photos too. Yeah. Somebody's just come take all your shit and put it together and say, here it is.
This is probably how it's gonna have to happen.
But for real, you have to make a book before
I die, definitely.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to have all your stuff in one thing, looking through and all the stuff you worked on. You'd probably be pretty impressed, because it's hard when you're in it and living in it to look at it from the outside perspective. But when I'm looking at going through your bio, which I've known you for many years, and look at all the shit you did, you did a lot of stuff, man.
Thank you.
And that many years, you did so many different genres too, you know? Salt and pepper?
Yeah, I mean, I hit the rap for a little bit.
Yeah.
Rap was like...
Tribe Called Quest, X-Clan.
Yeah.
Any interesting stories about shooting the hip-hop ones, or no? No standout?
Oh, well,
Ice-T?
The Salt and Pepper story was pretty funny. So I really wanted to shoot Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
And they were on some record company, and I was trying really, really hard to get into shoot Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, why? You're just a fan, right?
I love them, and I wanted to photograph them. So they told me that I had to do a test for them. And there was this guy, his name was Bruce Purse and the Pocketbooks.
It's a good name.
And at the time, I was doing this reverse process with color film that Anton Corbett used. And it basically, it makes the images, colors really pop, and that it's really contrasting. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are all aware of it, like U2, like most of U2 photos back then were this cross-process, Depeche Mode, whatever. So they asked me, to shoot this guy, Bruce Purse. And I said, okay, well, I don't know if this process is going to work, so can I do a test?
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah. So I had a Hasselblad. It was 12 images. That's how many frames you got. Mm-hmm. And I asked this guy to come over to my friend's studio, and we'd take a test.
Yeah.
We shot one roll of film, and it was all different exposures because you had to get the right lighting and everything.
Yeah.
And in that one roll of film, they told me that they didn't need to hire me again to shoot his album because they had all the images they needed.
That's awesome.
And I was like shocked.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So then they said, okay, you can shoot Salt and Pepper. And I was like, oh,
damn.
It's like my dream come true, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. And they're like, okay, you know, you can shoot Salt and Pepper. They scheduled it. I had a studio. And then they come to the studio. And the day of the shoot, they inform me that Salt is pregnant. And if there's any way you could hide it.
Oh, shit.
And she was like 6 months pregnant.
Damn.
And, you know, we don't really use Photoshop back then. Like, anyway, I was pretty shocked, but we just...
You made it happen.
Made it happen. And they ended up using it for this single, Let's Talk About Sex.
Holy shit. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing, BJ. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's fucking awesome. And so you couldn't tell she's pregnant, obviously.
No. Yeah.
Did you just put something in front of her or something? Or
I would just like pose it in a way where maybe some
yeah.
you know, Pepper was in front of her or something.
Damn.
Do it in a way so you couldn't really tell.
They were happy with it. Obviously, they used it for that. That's huge.
Yeah, they used it.
What other hip hop? So you said, I think Tribe was in there too. Ice-T, maybe?
Run DMC.
Wow. What year did you do that?
I don't know. They were on Profile Records.
That's right, yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And I got to shoot them in the studio, and that was awesome.
We're nice.
Nice guys.
Yeah.
I think that was used for some record too. I'm not sure.
So you don't know you're not sure what they use that for?
I'm not sure of anything, Toby.
That's amazing. What is like the biggest artist you shot for, you think? I mean, Salt and Pepper was pretty huge back then, actually. You remember? When I read your resume, it was
Aerosmith? I don't know.
Oh, you did do Aerosmith, huh?
But not only live.
Wow.
But
and you're a fan of them, too.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you shot them. What was that show at?
I don't know. I know it was something for Guitar World.
Okay.
And I'm sure it was probably like Madison Square Garden or something huge like that. And, actually, I do have a story about this where Hardcore did interface with Aerosmith.
Let's hear it.
And it's sad.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I am a huge Aerosmith fan, and I love Steven Tyler.
Yep.
And I was photographing them. I think it was Madison Square Garden. It's the very first song, and Steven Tyler takes his scarf off and throws it right at me. And since I'm used to hardcore, I duck, and I did not get his scarf.
You ducked? You thought so?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get hit. But I was just so used to shooting hardcore that,
my
it was just like a reflex, like, you know.
So it went over your head to somebody else?
Yes.
Damn. That's
so
a great
upset
story.
about that right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You get to meet the band, though, after that, or no?
I didn't meet them then.
You met them later?
But I met them later.
It's cool.
Thanks to Joey.
Nice.
He did one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me in my life.
He hooked you up to meet them?
Yeah, I was supposed to. There was some Aerosmith record release party right by my house, and I was supposed to get tickets, and right before it fell through, and it was too late to really do anything.
Yeah, last minute shit.
So I remember being at Continental. And Joey was there, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I'm really upset." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Forget it. I'm not, I don't want to talk about it." It was too bummed. And he was like, "Come on, maybe I can help you." And I'm like,
"Can you do his voice at all? No. Come on, let me help you. I don't know how to do it. Go
I'm
ahead.
not very good at voices. Well, he said, so I said, "Oh, what? Do you know Steven Tyler?" And he's like, "Well, he called me once." I'm like, "Okay, forget it."
Oh, shit.
And then he's like, "What?" So anyway, he made me tell him the problem. And he's like, "So why don't we just crash the party?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, let's just crash the party. No one ever does that anymore." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Okay." So that's what we did.
What was the party?
It was a record release party for one of their records.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And it was some kind of circus themed. So like the room was like all different like acrobats and like crazy little things.
Yeah.
And then they played live.
Sick.
And I remember, so we went, and we went with a bunch of people, my roommate Babs and the Independents and Joey.
Yeah.
And we went to the club. What was that club? It was on 34th Street. It was like a newer club.
Tramps?
No. It was some
Roxy,
like,
no.
I can't remember.
BB King's? I don't know,
It was kind of big. I don't remember what the hell it was, and it was there. And we went there, and they saw Joey, and they said, come on in. And there was tons of us.
You can't miss Joey Ramone walking up to the door. I mean.
Yeah, there was tons of us. So they let us in. And then someone else, when we get inside, someone else is like, hey, Joey, do you want to go backstage? And he's like, sure. And they're like, okay, but only you. And so Joey turned around and he goes, BJ, come here. And I walk over to him, and then he goes, come on. And he takes me by the hand, and I go, I'm scared. And he goes, me too. And we walked upstairs, and that's when I got to meet Steven Tyler.
Wow. Was he cool with Joey when he walked in and shit too? He's cool with you too?
Everyone was so cool. I think one of the wives took the photo of me, Joey, and Steven Tyler.
Where the fuck is this photo, man? Where's your throwback Thursday? Where's your flashback Friday photo? I need to see this photo.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
It's a cool photo?
It's at my house. Yeah, I love it.
Damn.
And I just remember when, I showed it to Joey afterwards, and he was very upset because he didn't realize, like, how tall he is. And I'm, like, really short.
Yeah.
I'm, like, 5'1".
Yeah.
And Joey was, like, what, 6'6"?
He was really tall.
So, Joey looks really tall, but he's not realizing that Steven Tyler's bending over. So we both look short and Joey looks tall. So I remember feeling really bad, and I would always try to take pictures with Joey where I would stand on a chair next to him and be taller than him.
That's interesting.
And I have a lot of photos like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Tyler was nice, obviously, too.
Yeah, he was super nice.
Yeah. You told me you took photos of him before or no? You might remember that shit. Who knows?
No, probably not. I should have told him the scarf story, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't tell him the scarf story. I remember talking to Joe Perry, though, because at the time there was a Spiderman cartoon, and Joe did the music for it.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, you are. Did you see the newest Spider-Man that was out? Spider-Man's Universe?
Did you see it?
No, I'm going to see it, though. I heard it's on TV and I can rent it. I heard it's amazing.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you're always obsessed with Spider-Man. Where did that come from? I went to many of your birthdays, even your adult life, where there was a Spider-Man there, and it was friends I've known dressed up as Spider-Man. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I guess I just love Spider-Man because Peter Parker was a photographer. He lived in New York, and he was kind of like an underdog.
Yeah.
So I guess I could pretty much relate to
that, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I never knew where that came from. You love Spider-Man.
Love Spider-Man.
So many Spider-Mans during your life.
Mm-hmm.
All the BJ's birthday parties in New York, there's always a Spider-Man there, always.
Yeah, one of my friends always dressed up for me.
For many years.
For many, many years.
When did that start? Like, what age you were like, you know what? I'm going to chill in the Spider-Man shit. Do you know? There was a certain time.
I mean, it went out through here.
Oh, yeah, in Cali. Yeah, it did. It worked out here, too, yeah.
And then, I don't know I don't know why it stopped.
Yeah, you still love it, though, right?
I still love it, and I still have the costume.
You have so many Spider-Man things, too.
Yeah. Insane.
Did any bands ever dress up for you?
As Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, bands at their shows.
At their shows?
Yeah.
No, but once Roger dressed up as Spider-Man, there was some kind of Halloween.
Oh, randomly?
Yeah, like a Halloween contest.
Yeah.
And he wore it, and I don't know why. We both kick ourselves, but we didn't go in the contest because we probably would have won.
You were Spider-Man too?
No, just Roger was Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Because I had that one really good outfit.
Yeah, where was that at? Was that a show or something? Or
that was at
Coney Island High. Yeah, it was a great spot too.
It was some Halloween. And I guess he just wore it there for me, and then we were like, why didn't we submit into the contest? Because he would have won.
Yeah.
We were stupid.
CBGB's was your favorite place to shoot?
I love CBGB's.
Yeah. Coney Island was sick too. Continental was pretty small, but
yeah.
And the Ritz was probably big and too many rules.
I liked shooting at the Ritz because, it was sometimes a little easier because the lighting was pretty good. But I think CB's was probably my favorite place to shoot.
Yeah. All the angles, everything. You got up in a little section, little box in front of the stage, all that.
Yeah. I mean,
there was some safe spots.
There was some safe spots. And, everyone, a lot of people always looked out for me. Security guards all throughout the years have always watched out for me, and
Yeah, they had your back there.
Always had my back there. Yeah.
So looking back now on all the stuff you've done, all the bands you've done, are there any bands you wish you still got to shoot, or never wish you got to shoot? Well, bummed you never got to shoot, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I know that I didn't shoot very many Cro-Mags
back then. Yeah.
And that was a reason that I found out later was only stupid on my part. But but now I really wish I had photos of them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. But
any other bands you wish you took photos of in the scene? I think you covered everybody though back then.
Yeah,
you did Social D too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
Suicidal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely a lot of pictures I wish came out better than they did, but I don't know. Yeah,
you did a lot.
Yeah.
You have no regrets in photography, right?
Oh, I have a huge regret.
Let's hear it. Let's give me one.
Oh my gosh. It's the biggest regret of my entire life.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay, so Anton Corbett was my very, very, very favorite photographer in the whole world. He still is.
Gotcha.
I love Anton. And I was at some show, and Ditto told me that he had a friend that knew Anton Corbett's rep, and that I should talk to this guy. And so at the time, Gutter Boy.
Yeah. That's his band, yeah.
That was his band, and I had made these huge posters off of a Xerox machine, like big, like probably like 16 by 20 size.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid wanted prints from that Xerox machine, so we made a deal. I'll make him prints because the machine was at my work, so I can make him prints, and he would give me Anton Corbett's rep, his phone number. So I was like, okay. So we made the deal.
Yeah.
And I started calling Anton Corbett's rep, and I'd call him, and he would say, Anton doesn't live in the U.S., so just keep checking. Call me every week, and I'll let you know when he's coming to town.
You just wanted to meet him, right?
I wanted to work with him.
Okay.
But, so I started calling every week. And every week it would be the same thing. Call me next week.
Mm-hmm.
So every week became every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks became once a month.
Yeah.
And then finally it was just like, oh my God, how many times am I going to call? This guy's never going to be in America. So I don't know. I didn't call the guy for quite a while. And I get this phone call from him. And he goes, do you know how many Pappuses live in Astoria, Queens? And Astoria, Queens is Greek. And Pappus is a very common Greek name.
Yeah.
And
shit.
It
was him.
It was Anton Corbett's rep calling me to tell me that Anton's finally going to be in America, and if I would like to assist him shooting Depeche Mode.
Holy shit.
And I was like, of course. And I remember at the time I had a job. I literally had a job. And my dear friend, Paul D'Antuono, photographer friend of mine, was nice enough to say, oh my God, don't work for me. Go take that job.
Yeah.
And I'll work by myself on
Yeah.
So I didn't even replace myself. He let me go shoot with Anton. And it was like the greatest experience ever. He's super nice guy, so talented, a gentleman, amazing. And he has amazing memory too.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So after that, the rep wanted to see more of my work.
Yeah.
And so I would, send him some pictures, and he was like, okay, you really need to come by with a new portfolio because I want to start repping you.
Nice.
But it scared the shit out of me. So I kept, like I said, I don't like my pictures. So I kept trying to get good pictures before I could show them. Nothing was ever good enough.
You're taking too much time.
I took too much time. And by the time I called him, he was like, I'm really sorry, but I'm no longer a rep. I quit that industry. I'm a teacher.
How long did it really take you? From the time they asked you for that, you think?
It had to at least been a year.
Damn.
At least.
Because you don't like your work and you're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was probably realistic, probably more like 2 years.
Oh, that you got back to him with a book?
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Like that's like
no emails back then. No, really, like it's just.
Yeah, no, it was just like I had to call him and you'd have to go over and I had to get the pictures made and printed and the portfolio and it was never right.
You're like 2 years too late for the response.
Yeah, and I just thought like how if someone's gonna hire Anton Corbett, they're not gonna hire me. Like So, but that's my hugest regret to life.
That's insane, man.
So
just taking too much and just being like too harsh on yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
Your worst critic.
I know. If I had it all over to do again, I would have just brought whatever pictures I had.
Yeah.
And let whatever happen.
Mm-hmm. And so you're still taking pictures now?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, when the transition to digital happened.
Yeah.
Everything kind of changed for me. Like. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to learn and it wasn't the same and I don't know. It was like kind of like starting all over.
Yeah.
And I mean I do digital, but I just haven't quite gotten like figured out the best way to do it. And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really do it anymore.
So that kind of like not burned you out, but it's like, I'm not really into the transformation.
Yeah, the transformation was a bummer, I have to say. Like that helped. And then, having to spend all this money to buy all new equipment.
Yeah.
When I had, saved up all these years
for all the other shit.
Have what I had. And then start all over. And
yeah.
I don't know. And then, the industry changed. It's not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there was, no money. So, you're going to spend all this money to take pictures of bands. And then how are you going to survive? So,
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
But so that's why I feel for you as your good friend that we have to make a book because a book can rekindle all that shit, everything you've done, put it in a book. You might get re-inspired, maybe fuck with some digital, maybe not. But you know what I mean? Like, I think it's cool since you're not really doing as much. I think to capture BJ Pappas and all the shit you did, I think it's got to happen, man. This podcast is all about BJ Pappas' book. We're going to make it happen. And people have tried to help you too, but like I said, we're going to make it happen. I think it's important because because unless you're actually looking at the photos I'm talking about, you can hear what I'm saying, like the Revelation releases. I can name every band she's done. But when you actually see the images, like, holy shit, I've seen that picture before. Because people know you have iconic photos that people recognize, especially in the punk, hardcore world, rock and roll world. People know those photos, you know what I mean? And we should celebrate you and celebrate your work because you put a lot of time and effort into it. And, you busted your ass for it. That's why I think it's important to share your story and share your book with the world because I appreciate it, and I know hardcore punk rock enthusiasts and historians they'll appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Toby. That means a lot.
No, it's true. You did a lot for a lot of people, man. A lot of my favorite photos are done by you. I don't know why you didn't do the FTTW. I guess we did somebody else that time.
We had some fun photo shoots.
Yeah, man.
I was just recently looking back at a lot of stuff that I think I sent you some pictures. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the water boy one.
Yeah,
we did
why were you in boxer shorts? Do you remember that?
Boxer shorts and white t-shirts with water and doing some water thing for
What was that?
It was a Cord magazine in Philly. Yeah.
And
then
did that ever run?
Yeah, I think so. And just the great photos behind, just like the Seabees. It looks so surreal looking at those photos now of us in front of Seabees because it's not there anymore. But such perfect shots there. That was awesome. We did some rooftop ones with us too. I remember with the Empire State Building, those epitaph ones. Yeah. I have those still. And then the ones at the beauty bar where Moon worked.
Oh yeah,
those are fun too. I
actually love one of that because at the time, weren't you reading a phone book?
Yeah, I was reading a phone pre-phone.
Phone book. You either had a phone in your hand or a phone book.
That's right. That's crazy, man. Remember
way back then.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So many good times. Either so many good photos. It's cool to get to hang out with the Ramones too and the Bad Brains and be part of that world.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. I'm very thankful to have been able to live this life where. I've been able to be around what I love and become friends with musicians that I admire their music. It's, not very many people have that, and it's pretty awesome to do.
And it's because of your friendships and your relationships, you got to take so many photos that most people wouldn't have a chance to take, and being in those situations and those shows and taking more than 3 photos in the first 3 songs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a relationship because everybody loves you and you're part of that scene, and that's why I think that. And your pictures are great.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So you might have thought, oh, they're just using my photos because of my friends and they care about me, but no, your photos are awesome. But it's hard. I go through the same shit where like making music or playing a show, like, oh, we suck tonight, or that song sounds like shit, and the kids are liking it, but it's like, I don't know, I'm like that too, pretty harsh on yourself, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what makes you better, right?
Yeah.
Because if you were accepting of it, you wouldn't ever improve.
True. Do you consider yourself like a perfectionist?
I guess so, yeah. That's probably why I probably don't like anything, because nothing's perfect, right?
Is there one photo that you fucking love, like, holy shit, I killed it? Can you say that?
Probably not.
So maybe one photo that stands out to you, like, holy shit, this is an awesome photo.
Probably the Joe Strummer picture.
Yeah. Is that the one flicking him off?
Yeah, at the bar.
He's at the bar. He's got 2 middle fingers up. That's an iconic photo. You guys probably know exactly what we're talking about. Where was that shot at?
So there was a bar downtown. I think it was called the Soho Grand, I think.
Yeah.
And Joe, we had been doing photos Joe had been doing photos all day for Guitar World, like for every magazine, and I was doing it for Guitar World. And they promised me that I could shoot Joe after he was done with everything. And so afterwards we went to this bar.
Yeah.
And Joe and I were there, and it was back in the day when they were just changing over no smoking laws in New York City. And so I was sitting across from Joe, and he went to light a cigarette, and the waiter told him, "You're not allowed to smoke in here."
Oh, shit.
And so Joe flicked him off. That was like, and I just...
Natural thing.
This is natural. I just took the picture. And, you know, punk rock style, Joe lit the cigarette anyway and smoked it.
Damn.
And so because that was a real story, like I just...
That's fucking awesome. So that's like a legit response to like, you can't smoke in here.
Yeah.
I did not know that story behind that one.
Yeah, that's the story.
And where's the Tim Armstrong famous jumping up one from?
The jumping one or the finger one?
The jumping one. Like the one who's jumping, that famous one, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, there's a finger one too.
Oh, yeah, the finger one.
There's a flick off one too, yeah.
Okay, so the finger one was Wetlands.
Okay.
And I remember that story.
Yeah.
So that was when they played Wetlands, and that was the first time I ever photographed them.
Was that the Avail show with
yes,
the Queers? Yeah,
Avail.
H2O played My Love Is Real. We played one song that day.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, I have to see if I have pictures from there. We must have it, right?
You do. You had one where I'm falling on top of Tim Ensign. I think he's playing bass. You might have took that one, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's look into that.
Okay, yeah, we should look into that. So that was H2O's first, or was it?
It was H2O's first time playing in front of a crowd of people, and it was me, Armand, Pete, and Tim Ensign. Just one song.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the Avail Rancid show.
For sure have to have pictures.
Maybe 93.
Okay, yeah. We got to look for
Let's
that.
find that shit.
Yeah, cool. So all I remember is like, you know, this is the first time I ever shooting Rancid.
Yeah.
And it was at Wetlands, and, you know, I was lucky enough to be able to shoot on stage because that club was packed. Mm-hmm. And I just remember that I went to go take picture of Lint, and he flipped me off. And I remember thinking, well, I'm going to take the picture, but if he's really pissed, I'm in trouble. And
but he wasn't.
I took the picture, and then I gave it to him.
Yeah.
And then he liked it, and then I think we pretty much became best friends after that.
That's fucking awesome. That was the first time being there too, right? Yeah, I mean the first time seeing them play there.
Yeah, that was my first time.
Did you take pictures at City Gardens too, or no? It's kind of a mission for you.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't remember though.
City Gardens.
You probably remember more. Was I there?
Might have been. We went to a Sick of It All bunch, or you were mostly like New York shit.
I've been to City Gardens, but maybe not that show.
Yeah.
Was that before that?
No, I think that was it. Did you ever take pictures of G Generation?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You hit every single New York band. It's crazy. I can't name without you saying, I didn't get that one.
I know. You know, I should really update that list.
Yeah, because Sick of It All wasn't on there. I just read the whole list. It's not on there.
There's probably a lot of bands that aren't on there.
But that's a lot of bands. But just hear me read that. Is it crazy?
I can't believe you read that.
I know. I can't believe it either. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of bands.
Did you ever think of becoming an auctioneer?
I do talk too fast, but no, I didn't.
Good.
That'd be pretty good though.
Yeah. Another career option for you.
Yeah, thank you. Once I see what happens with this podcasting life. But I think we covered your life. Were your parents were supportive of your photography journey?
I don't know. I mean, it was, I was taking when I did. What am I trying to say? Sorry. When I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to college for photography.
Yeah.
My parents backed it.
Nice.
And I had a friend whose parents didn't back it. And I remember that he had to go to a 4-year college for another career. And if he graduated, he would then be allowed to go to a photography college and pursue photography.
Wow.
So he had to go to school for a minimum of 6 years
Damn.
to become a photographer. And that guy, to this day, is a photographer. And I always feel really bad.
Wow.
And I'm really thankful that my parents didn't make me
Holy shit.
do that.
That's crazy. Yeah, they were supportive. Like their daughters going to the city to see these fucking weird ass bands, and
I don't think they were really supportive of that part of it.
Yeah, but they're like, what the fuck? Because your sister wasn't into that type of shit, was she?
Well, my sister was the one that told me that I should shoot bands.
Okay.
So we were always into music. I would say her music was not as hard.
Yeah, maybe more rockish, top 40 stuff, maybe. Yeah.
Well, not top 40.
Like more rock, like
more like probably new wave.
Okay.
And stuff like
Respect that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they weren't really. I mean, when I graduated college and came home with a broken wrist because of being at a show, that was definitely weren't backing that. I remember my mom's face just rolled her eyes and
so disgusted.
Yeah, disgusted with me.
But they didn't care about you going on Road to Bad Brains and all that shit. And
no, I guess they didn't really care. I mean, I rode a motorcycle too, right? They didn't really care.
True that.
So, I guess.
You survived an accident too, a major accident. Was that in New York, the accident?
Yeah. It was after a Moby show.
Oh, shit. Shots of man Moby. I know you like Moby. Oh, shit. Did you shoot that Moby show?
I shot Moby at, it was an assignment for Spin magazine.
Dude, you have those photos still?
Yeah, I still have
Let's
those.
get some of the Moby show. He was stoked.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I actually called Mackie to see if he wanted to go to the show with me.
Yeah.
And picked up Mackie to go to the show.
Yeah.
We went on my bike, and I think it was, I think it might have been, I don't know, Irving Plaza or the Ritz. I don't know. I get those confused. It was one of those. And so Mac left, and I'm really glad he did, because after the show was over, I went to go drop my film off at the lab.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the film in the drop box, and I remember the light was changing from yellow to red, and I was going a little too fast to like slow down, but I was like, whatever, I'm not, whatever. And then the problem was there was a cab there that jumped the light, so he sped up before it turned green.
Yeah.
And hit me.
Damn.
And so that's how I got hit.
And how bad happened? What happened to you?
I broke my femur bone, and I scratched my spleen, and went to the hospital. But it's kind of a funny story, because there was 2 undercover cops that happened to be like walking by when this accident happened.
Oh shit.
And it was like Sergeant Love.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know the other guy's
That's funny.
name. Sergeant Love, and I don't know. There's two guys, and they were walking by, and they came over to me, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "I'm not supposed to take my helmet off, but I'm taking off my helmet," and my leg was like
in pieces.
It was so blown up and twisted, and I was like, "I think I broke my leg," and they were like, "Yeah, we think you broke your leg," and I go, "Can you just get my motorcycle out of the street?" And I was so used to watching Chips. Did you used to watch Chips?
Yeah,
when you
I
were
did.
little?
Yeah.
And you know how everything would blow up? I just thought, can you move my bike before it blows up? So they were like, okay, we'll get your bike before it blows up. And so they moved my bike for me, and then they put me in the ambulance. And I remember that, oh my God, that ride was so horrible, because they got to talk to you to keep you awake. And the guy kept asking me, what I do. And I said, I'm a photographer. And he's like, oh, do you shoot weddings? And I was like, no, I hate shooting weddings. And he's like, really? Because I'm getting married. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to shoot your wedding. I hate shooting weddings.
And my leg's broken.
And he just kept getting me so irritated
yeah.
about that. But anyway, he kept me awake. And then, I went to the hospital. That was kind of fun times. You came to visit me.
Yeah. How long were you in the hospital for?
10 days.
Fuck, that's crazy, man.
But it was fun. It was kind of like...
a little party there, right?
It was like a party there.
Yeah.
You have to remember. So, like, we were all used to getting to shows, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, you could have 2 guests at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, so back in the day, you have, like, a little pass. You walk up.
Yeah.
There was tons of people in my room always,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I used to work for this photographer, David Weiss. And David Weiss, somehow I got this message, because whatever, I don't know. We didn't have cell phones back then, but he was, like, trying to visit me, but he couldn't because there was too many guests. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he was like, you don't know how to get into a hospital? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, it's like Paul D'Antuono told him that he was my father. He gets in all the time.
Oh, shit.
And the thing with the pass, someone comes up with 2 passes and they go down and
they swap
one
it
person
out.
brings the 2 passes down, but it's only one. Like,
totally.
Anyway, but
the same way to get into clubs, you got into a hospital to see you.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then you had pins put in your leg back in the day.
Yeah, I had a rod and some screws put in there. And I walked with a cane for a very long time.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I want to thank all the bands that still let me take pictures of them because I was slow walking with that cane.
Yeah.
And you remember, like, that was just like torture to walk down the street with me.
Yeah, it took a long... Yeah. How many years you have a cane for?
Maybe like 2 years, I think.
Damn.
It took a while to recover from that.
And then most recently, you were having some issues most of your life because of that, though, right? When it gets cold and stuff, or rains, you get weird pains or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah, always. Like when it rains, I feel the pain. But most recently, for probably like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years, I've had this pain in, like, by my knee, my inner knee.
Yeah.
And it's actually hard to walk up and down steps. And I've been to multiple doctors, and they don't know what the problem was.
Yeah.
Until recently, went to a new doctor, Dr. Botts.
What up, Botts?
Thank you, Dr. Botts. And he took an X-ray of my knee and instantly said, "I know what the problem is. It's like your screws are too big."
Wow.
And so
finally somebody told you the truth.
Yeah, years later.
That's crazy.
And I don't even understand it because I've had multiple X-rays done.
Yeah.
And no other doctor could notice it. If you see the X-ray, it's pretty obvious.
So now how do you feel with them taken out?
That pain's gone.
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of strengthening it so I can be back to normal. But
so everything grows back around it and shit. It's normal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good.
That's awesome.
Hopefully.
I'm glad you're walking and you're out and...
Thank you. Me too.
You're alive and you live in California. We all live in California now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you live here too.
Yeah. I don't think I could live in the winter again.
I can't handle the cold.
Oh, no. Especially when you get older too. It's like...
I love New York, but man, the weather, it's brutal.
Mm-hmm. When you go back, it's just a different New York though too.
It is different. Like, what's there anymore?
Do you like being there though? You get like the vibe and the nostalgia?
Not really.
I don't know, because really nothing
There's
really
nothing
to reminisce
there.
on. You can't go to old spots and say, "Oh, I used to hang out here," because it's...
Remember when we would always go out to eat and
yeah, man.
Our spots to eat?
Dojos, all that shit, 7A, all that.
Nothing's there. And then there's no clubs there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's there,
Everything's in Brooklyn now. It's different.
It's just different.
Yeah. Things change, but
yeah,
we have the memories we get to reminisce about. We have your photo book coming out soon. We get to reminisce about. That's going to happen. Well, I think we covered good shit, Paige. We talked for an hour and a half. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
It's good, though.
Thank you for making it easy because I really
we're chilling.
Thank
you for everything you contributed to punk rock and hardcore, all the shit, the blood, sweat, and the tears that you shed for this music because you loved it so much. And I hope the world can see your work someday, which you're going to work on. I'm really going to do my best to help you with this.
Thank you.
Look out for BJ Papas on Instagram. It's just at BJ Papas, right?
Mm-hmm.
See all of our photos on there at bjpapas.com.
Yes.
Anything else? Is there anything else you could think about you want to say? Or
I think we covered everything, huh?
I'm going to put the sample from your voice from our first album on the end of this episode. But BJ never does podcasts. It's nice to hear the voice behind the photographer because I know people love you and love your work, and so they get to hear you talk. And
you made me.
I know.
Do that for the record, or else I wasn't allowed to leave, right?
That's right. You and Mackie is like, I don't get paid to talk, man. I get paid to play drums. That's all he said on our record. That was such fun doing the first album. That was such a fun hang with everybody, it was so man. Fun.
I just saw the pictures from that.
You got some?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see those.
Yeah, I got to show you those.
So many. Anthony Caminelli, Freddie, Stigma.
You know who else was there?
Armand. BJ Papas.
Dickie Barrett was there.
Oh, that's right. You got some pictures? I need to see those pictures, please. Shout out to Dickie Barrett. Yeah. I'm going to have him on here soon. But BJ, thanks for everything, man.
Thanks for having me.
It was nice chatting with you and hearing the story behind the woman who risked it all for the love of the core. Thanks, BJ.
Thank you, Toby.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.